Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat at welcome sa isa na namang episode ng Ang Ating Tugon. Ang Ating Tugon po ay isang programang inihahatid sa atin ng Philippine Ecumenical Peace Platform, Ecumenical Bishops Forum sa pakikipagtulungan sa Radio Veritas Asia Filipino Service. Ngayong linggo po, tayo po ay sasamahan ni Bp Rex Reyes ng isa sa mga co-convener po ng PEPP at EBF. At syempre, alam po natin na napakahaba na rin po ng inyong track record sa human rights work. Bishop, kamusta po?
Ito. Nag-enjoy pa rin.
Nag-enjoy pa rin.
At concern pa rin sa resumption ng peace talks, sa karapatang pantao. Hindi po mawawala sa isip natin.
Sa mahaba nyo pong track record ng human rights work, marami po kayong mga issues talaga na hinaharap din po no, sa usaping po ng human rights and work no, sa resumption ng peace talks. Pero this week po, magzi-zero in tayo doon sa malaking usapin no, nung nakaraan kasi nagpasa po ng resolution no, yung United Nations Human Rights Council ng isang resolution on the Philippines, particularly sa human rights abuses na nagaganap po under the present administration. At talaga pong maswerte po kami ngayon, Bishop Rex, kasi alam ko po from our kwentuhan kanina na isa po kayo sa mga nauna din sa human rights work pagdating sa United Nations, sa pag-explore ng United Nations mechanism. So ano po ba itong United Nations Human Rights Council po?
Mahalaga na bigyan pansin natin yung mga resolutions ng Human Rights Council ng UN dahil we have agreed to be part ng UN. Meron tayong mga obligasyon na bigyan pansin and to take those agreements very seriously. Panindigan natin kung paano tayo manindigan na ito ay ating bansang Pilipinas at kaisa-isang bansa natin. Dapat ganun din natin. Bigyan ng pagpapahalaga yung mga instruments na tinimaan natin sa United Nations. At isa na doon yung pagiging member ng Human Rights Council. Isipin nyo, Carlos P. Romulo pa yan eh. Gensec ng Secretary General ng UN yan. Kapudi-puding Gensec ng yan. So, maganda nga ang UN Human Rights Council dahil meron siyang it's almost 11 years now yung mechanism na yan na tinatawag na Universal Periodic Review. At pinag-uusapan ang human rights issues ng bawat kasaping nation sa UN. Dahil in the first place, the UN was established, among others, to support human rights. That's why we have this the Universal Bill on Human Rights. I don't see anything wrong with that.
And also no, sa mga sumunod na mga panahon na nagpasa ng mga iba't ibang mga conventions and declarations on human rights.
Nag-benefit tayo dyan. Yung Convention on Children, Convention on War, Convention, so many conventions. We stood to benefit from those, hindi naman. I'm sorry for those who think that yan ay pakikialam sa internal affairs ng ating country. Hindi po. Those are instruments that we have agreed to abide with. Kung ano man ang mga consensus decisions that were reached in those meetings. We should learn to be more respectful.
Balikan po natin yung recent na resolution on the United Nations Human Rights Council. Ano po yung laman nito and sa tingin niyo po ano yung impact nito under the present situation po sa ating bansa?
Sigurado hindi ayos ang laman niya. Ang tiyak ko, it is a way out actually for us in the Philippines. It is a gracious way in fact. Kasi it's not condemnatory naman eh. The resolution is simply to look into the alleged allegations of human rights violations or non-conformity to the conventions that we have signed. Yun lang naman ang hinihingi ng resolution. It's not saying we condemn the Philippines for... It's saying that there are reports of human rights violations that needs to be... And what is wrong with investigating human rights violations, alleged or not? Tayo naman mga Pilipino, sanay na tayo dyan. Kay panahon pa ni President Marcos yan. Yung mga katulad kong in the twilight of the years, we know na pag may nangyari, hindi naman bago sa atin yung tinatawag natin na fact-finding teams, missions, and so on. What is wrong with trying to establish what is true? Ang mali talaga is to try to hide those things. Saka siguro, just to add, these are, sabihin man natin na these are countries who may not have, whose citizens never visited the Philippines at all. But these are countries where citizens are very concerned with human rights and the respect of human dignity. Hindi naman, those go beyond the common understanding na ang human rights is a political issue. It's not. It's a very, very serious social issue. And for me, bilang isang indigenous person, it's a profoundly spiritual issue. Kasi ang mga taong simbahan, mga Kristiyano, we are created in God's image. So anything that destroys that image is something that we should be worried about.
Ito pong ating pinag-uusapan ay tungkol sa UNHRC resolution on the Philippines na napagkasunduan na iimbestigahan ang Pilipinas dahil doon sa reported na mga human rights violations sa ating bansa. At tulad nga po ng lumabas na rin sa maraming mga balita, 18 po ng mga bansa na voting members ng Council ang bumoto in favor doon sa resolution. Tapos 14 yata yung hindi. Tapos may several others na nag-abstain. And apart from the voting members, marami din pong mga bansa na hindi voting members, pero member ng Council, who supported the human rights, the resolution of the Philippines on the investigation on human rights abuses. Kaya talagang makikita rin natin, Bishop, sorry, nasanay akong Paddy, pero Bishop, na tawag ito na nakita rin natin yung overwhelming din na support, international solidarity, if I may say, on Philippines sa nangyayari ngayon. But apparently, ang nagiging take ng government dito is that it's a form of foreign intervention. At yun yung una nilang naging, ano po yung pagtingin niyo po dito?
Hindi. When we say that, we are just being selective on, we're not clear about what is foreign intervention and what is not. We are not actually very clear. Pag okay lang. Pag anong sasabihin, for example, when somebody says, let the United States declare war on China and we will support the United States. What is that? Hindi ba isang uri ng paghihimasok? If we were talking about paghihimasok, but when it comes to the regard of human rights, at least for the National Council of Churches in the Philippines and for most of us church people in the Philippines, the defense of human rights in the Philippines is the defense of human rights anywhere. The violation of human rights in Israel and Palestine is a violation of human rights anywhere. So, by the same token, na-appreciate natin yung mga maraming bansa din na nakikipag solidarity sa atin. We cannot say simply dismiss that as foreign intervention because, yun na nga, like I said, we are co-signees of a mechanism, of an instrument that allows for those procedures to take place. I remember that not so long ago, in 2009 or thereabouts, nag-engage tayo sa Universal Periodic Review, and that was a very, very new mechanism of the United Nations Human Rights Council. And nagkataon na ang ating bansa ang one of the first whose human rights records were subjected to review. So, ang language naman, if you listen to the UN proceedings, ang language niya, malulula ka kasi what are the best practices, what needs to be improved. You know, napaka-positive yung mga lingwahe na ginagamit dyan. So, I do not see any na dahil lang dyan, we become averse to anything that comes from especially so that this is a United Nations resolution. Saan ang paghihimasok ko? Meron tayong, our country is co-signing to those instruments. So let's panindigan na natin.
In fact, because it's an investigation, it's actually a call for investigation. And the Philippine government itself can participate, diba, in the investigation. They can submit reports also. Yun yung pagkaintindi ko din from the news report. So they can actually engage in that investigation. Pero sa tingin niyo po, ano po yung kinakatakot nila? Bakit? Kasi sabi lang, hindi nila papapasukin dito sa bansa.
Well, as it was before, it is true then. Ang kinatatakutan ng mga naghahari ay yung katotohanan. Na malaman ang katotohanan. That was what they tried so hard to do during the time of the previous dispensations. But the ecumenical movement, the ecumenical voice, for example, isa sa consistent na ecumenical formation at that time, naglunsad pa rin ng report. In those mechanisms, they are called shadow reports. Not because they overshadow the government's report, but they do provide another way of retelling the narrative of human rights from the perspective of those who speak, from the perspective of those who suffered. You know, the government report would normally talk about the achievements of the state and statistics, but the ecumenical report coming from church people mainly talks about the morals of it. The human face of the violation of human rights and the need to look into it, because somewhere along the line meron tayong alam na katotohanan na pilit isinasantabi o pinagtatakpan o ayaw lang na lang. I think that is also the reason why nakakaranas tayo ngayon ng matinding vilification ng mga lawyers. Lawyers are supposed to tell the truth. From the beginning, they don't have to swear like any witness. It's a function of lawyers to establish the truth of any allegation. And so, in the last weeks, kakalungkot how many young lawyers killed.
And of course, kahit yung church people also are nowadays talaga din vilified and attacked, no? May church worker, yung IFI, who was killed mga last month, if I remember it right.
So yung mga kasamang ordained sa Mindanao, kung ano-ano nang sinasabi sa kanila. That is not new, of course, to church people. It has to be said that from the very beginning, there has been this vilification. The Christians call it persecution. The persecution of the heralds of the truth. The persecution of those who want to be prophetic in their utterances, in the way they understand the world, in the way maintindihan nila yung relationship ng mga naghahari at saka yung ordinaryong mamamayan in the way they see governance and all of those things. Hindi po naman, that's not a new. What is new though is the viciousness by which church people are vilified kasi ano ba naman yan, pati ba naman perjury isasama pa sa kaso ano bang definition ng perjury?
So, Bishop,
tanungin ko nga si Father Edoy kung anong definition.
Tanong po natin. So, phone-in question po. So, going back lang sa UNHRC and also on the international support apart from the governments or the missions, ang tawag nila din kasi sa UN missions. From what I heard, the WCC also played, the World Council of Churches also played a big part doon sa lobbying work ng mga human rights workers. So talagang makikita mo talaga yung solidarity na ipinapakita ng international community sa Pilipinas at sa human rights situation sa ating bansa. Bishop, is yung UNHRC po resolution on this, is this something that that Christians should support?
By all means.
And if yes nga po, paano nila pwedeng maipakita rin yung support nila for this?
By all means. Kasi sinusuportahan na ng ecumenical community worldwide. Yes, it's true na in the past, the World Council of Churches lent a strong voice, well, at least to a certain extent, the Christian Conference of Asia, yung ecumenical formation na sa Asia ay nagsalita din at tumulong sa pag-proclaim ng mga nagaganap dito sa ating bansa in those years. See, it was an initiative coming from the locals sa atin. Pero ang tugon ay naging global. So yun ang kagandahan yan. Not that they want to interfere, but because the respect of human rights and human dignity is a universal concern. Concern yan ng mga Kristiyano, concern yan ng whatever, ideologically bound or whatever, you pledge to do something about human dignity. But once human dignity and human rights is defined by those in power, its parameters are shaped by those in power, then that's the beginning of the violation of those rights. What can Christians like us do? Abay, napakagaling natin manalangin. So yan ang una. Pray. Anong pinag-pray? Di manalangin tayo ng kapayapaan. Kasi yan naman that's what Christians do. Pagkakaintindihan or understanding, and we don't just pray for those things to happen because it won't. Katulad ng prutas, baka siguro mabulok bago mahulog. We have to work hard to reach those peace, unity, and listening sa pamamagitan ng walang sawang pakikinig sa mga kwento ng mga naapektuhan. Kuminsan, pare-parehong kwento, baka ganun. Pero when you listen very well, they are not the same. To the extent that they are stories of oppression, yes, they are. But to the extent that they hurt one person to another, one heart, one soul to another, they are different. And to the extent that they make us disturbed, angry, and upset, they are different. So let's pray for peace. Let's pray for the resolution of all conflicts. Ipanalangin din natin ang ating mga sarili na magiging matatag at magiging persistent sa patuloy na pagdepensa ng karapatang pantao. There are occasions when we are called to come together para mag-aral, sama-samang mag-aral, because there are experts on certain issues who can sila mismo makapagpaliwanag dyan. So we can join those occasions. Meron ding occasions na pag isigaw ang karapatan dahil mukhang nabibingi na yung mga may kapangyarihan. it's not that we want to shout. Eh, sino ba naman may gusto na sumigaw para lang dahil gusto sumigaw. Those who are in pain shout. Those who don't, sometimes most of the time don't. Pero yung mga nasasaktan, yung naapektuhan ng masama, and to a certain extent, grabe ang epekto, they cry in pain. So a shout is a shout of pain. And we have to listen to those two.
Maraming salamat po, Bishop Rex.
Salamat din sa inyong mga audience na nakikinig. Thank you for your patience. I hope you continue na i-subscribe sa ating discussion forum dito sa Radio Veritas.
Maraming salamat.
Magandang araw.
Maraming salamat po at dito po muna nagtatapos ang ating ang ating panayam kay Bishop Rex Reyes at magbabalik po tayo ulit sa susunod na linggo. Ako po si Janess na humahalili muna ngayong linggo para kay Benji Oliveros para sa Ang Ating Tugon.